A guy that I would consider a fake reporter made national news with the pretty jarring story he wrote about Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. And he was given a national platform to kind of go and lie about the Buffaloes. Let's go talk about it after the bumper. This is interesting. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, Coach Prime, Colorado, they're in the headlines all the time for all different kinds of reasons. But this time, there is a fake reporter who was giving a national platform to kind of spew lies about what's happening at the Buffaloes organization up in Colorado, up in Boulder. Now, let me go ahead and show you. So there was an article written a few days ago by Athlon Sports. A reporter from Athlon Sports he put out an article that was pretty jarring. The man goes by the name of Steve Quarter. Steve Quarter wrote. Whoa, let me get past all that. Wrote this story where the headline is Deion Sanders' chaotic culture turns into locker room violence in Colorado. Coach Prime keeps it cool on the outside, but inside it seems to be boiling over. He wrote this on August 2nd. Steve Quarter. And in this, I mean, there was a lot of headline grabbing quotes, or a lot of headline grabbing just excerpts that were taken from this. A bunch of stuff about like guns in the locker room, violent culture, violent nature, all kinds of things that was spewed in this piece. Just talking about basically how bad it is in Boulder for Coach Prime and Colorado. Now, I thought this was kind of, interesting. It's not to say that there are things that happen in every culture, every locker room across the country. But this just seemed a little fishy. It seemed over the top. Some of the things that he was saying, one of the things he said, like it was a gang-like initiation for freshman 5-star Jordan Seaton. Said he got punched in the mouth by one of the former Colorado offensive linemen. A bunch of stuff about dudes getting jumped and beat up on, and a bunch of guns being flashed all across the locker room, dice games, all kinds of just crazy stuff, right? So I was like, okay, he was kind of going in on Colorado. And then this same man, Steve Quarter, was given the national platform by being invited to the Dan Le Batard show. Now, Dan Le Batard, former ESPN anchor reporter, had a show on ESPN. Now he has his own radio show, Dan Le Batard and Stu Gatz, based out of Miami. And he gave this man a platform. I'm going to go to an awful announcement article, and let's read from here. It says, Athlon sports writer defends reporting on Deion Sanders' Colorado football program. Quote, if this was going on anywhere, I would think that anybody would want to know about it. It goes, this is how the article reads. It says, Steve Quarter of Athlon Sports made waves in college football world this week when a bombshell report of the Colorado Buffaloes football program under Deion Sanders alleging a culture of bullying and violence. Some have questioned the validity of the reporting from an outlet like Athlon, while Sanders has discredited the report and threatened a ramification. A Quarter joined Dan Le Batard's show with Stu Gatz on Wednesday to defend his reporting in response to the public reaction. He said that while he understands doubters around his story, he reported it for public good. Quote, I just know I've talked to these kids, these young men. They're scared. They're worried about repercussions, Quarter said. I'm just doing what I think what is right, what needs to be done. If this was going on anywhere, I would think anybody would want to know about it, whether it's the university, it's the state, it's the players' families, or whatever it may be. Specifically responding to Sanders' comments about the story, Quarter noted that Sanders did not deny the details. Quarter also noted that how Colorado staged a recorded conversation to respond to a piece at Athlon, which indicates they take it seriously, even if Sanders' comments were dismissive. So he's saying they're taking it serious up in Colorado. I'm not so sure about that. Let's keep reading. They made specific content to talk about the story. If it's not true, just say it's not true. Corder said, quote, but anybody that has done that, CU gave no comment. The players weren't specifically asked about it, but nobody has come out and said no. None of that never happened. Like I said, I'm confident in my reporting. Le Batard, who said later in the show that he believed Corder's reporting, asked why others on the Colorado beat may not be reporting the same details of the culture of the program. Quote, I would think that the beat reporters are content because they have access, or they have the access that Deion allows them to have, and that's enough for them, Corder said. Maybe they don't believe what they see or what they're told. Asked whether Athlon was scared of legal action, Corder said no. Quote, there's no reason to worry. I vetted my sources. I checked. I double checked. I have multiple people that I trust. Corder said, once you talk to more than 2, 3, 4 people, I have to go with my gut, and I believe these guys. Perhaps Athlon being a smaller outlet works in Colorado's favor in more ways than one. While they can threaten legal action, potentially scare the company, the school is likely also benefiting from the lack of attention it's getting versus a story like this in an athletic or the local newspaper. The arena-owned Athlon took over the publishing Sports Illustrated Fan Nation sites earlier this year. According to his bio on the websites and his social media presence, Corder runs the Colorado Buffaloes and Carolina Panthers websites. Now, he's standing on 10 toes about his. But there is still some fishy stuff about this man, Steve Corder. First of all, now Twitter/X or whatever, it doesn't mean everything, but it means something. And if you go to this man's Twitter, X, just go to his page, he's following 600 people and has 123 followers. Now, once again, that doesn't mean everything. But most legitimate reporters that run team websites for both the Carolina Panthers, that's an NFL team, and talking about Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, have more than 123 followers. That's the first thing. And then there is some of the things that have already been debunked by either current players on the Colorado roster or Corder, just quite frankly not knowing what he's talking about. And this is what I'm saying. So I'm going to go to another Colorado Buffaloes website or sports page, blog site, whatever, and see what they have to say. Social media explodes over shameless Athlon writer doubling down on debunked Colorado allegations. It says earlier this week, Athlon sports writer Steve Corder published now debunked story that alleges head coach Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes program of fostering a violent culture. Not long after, former Colorado cornerbacks Cormani McClain, who was portrayed negatively in the story, caught the allegations false on his Instagram account. Current Buffs Caden Dempsey, Jimmy Horn Jr., Caleb Mathis also later expressed their frustration with the apparent hit piece. In journalism, credibility is everything, and by all measures, Corder has none. The Instagram account linked to his Athlon profile is extremely unprofessional, which is also true. A quick Google search will make you question if he's even a real person, and his reporting tactics raise countless red flags. All of this is very true. Like, I couldn't find anything that seemed legit about this dude. And that's why that's why I called him a fake reporter. Because I'm not so sure. I'd never seen an article before this piece. And I'm sure he's written something after because his name continues to get Googled because he wrote such a salacious piece. Colorado social media hit a tipping point on Wednesday when Corder appeared on the Dan Le Batard show, doubling down on his sketchy reporting. Here's a look at social media reacted. Now, this is Jimmy Horn Jr. saying, just now seeing this, what in the hell is this dude talking about? I don't be on here like that, but folks just be saying anything for attention. Got to be overly bored in the name of Jay West. Now, that the strapped up video. So this is where I said he just didn't know what he was talking about. So let's play this clip of him talking about strapped up and what he was referring to. Let's take a listen. Let me hold on 1 second. 1 second. So let's listen to this. This is from via the Dan Le Batard show with Stu Gatz. Fair use, not trying to get any trouble. But let's take a listen what Corder had to say.
Allegations.
It's rampant there. There's a video that's circulating that actually found after the piece where they're asking, I believe it's Bucky is going around asking who's the most strapped on the team. And people are giving their opinions.
So he said, if you couldn't hear, there's a video of who he believes to be Deion Sanders Jr., Bucky, asking who is the most strapped on the team. That just isn't true. That's not what took place. And y'all know I'm not the one to defend Coach Prime in Colorado. I think some of the stuff they do is innovative. I think some of the stuff they do is very goofy. But that's simply not true. Not what happened. Here is the video in question. All right, so let's take a listen. This is the video that he is referring to when he says they ask who is, quote, the most strapped on the team. Let's take a listen to what actually happened. Let me go ahead and rewind this. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Let's take a listen.
You know who deserves Straps of the Day award?
Who's the Straps of the
Who be
Day?
getting strapped all day?
Shit. I'll go interview him too.
Go ahead, talk to Caleb.
Yeah, okay.
Go talk to Caleb.
Give me the play, because he's gonna try to cap and say he didn't get strapped.
Yeah, all his plays, he probably had like 2 catches. I'll give him that.
All right.
The rest of the plays.
So the video in question, as you see, if you couldn't hear, they said, you know who deserves Straps of the Day award, meaning who was getting strapped up, who wasn't getting open, who wasn't making any catches. And they said this young man said Caleb Mathis, who was a wide receiver on the team, and he said he only had 2 catches. Dan Le Batard is well respected, highly well respected. From what I understand, he has deleted most of this stuff from this interview, from his content creation page, from his YouTube, from his social media, but he should have vetted this guy better. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people that love Deion Sanders. There's a lot of people that hate Deion Sanders and wants him to fail. A lot of people that want to see him succeed and win a national championship. A ton of people want to see him fail and fall flat on his face and hoping that something like this is true. But what we can't do, we can't just make stuff up. We can't, and we cannot give platforms to people just making things up. As you guys know, I have a history with Coach Prime. It's not all good. At the same time, what I won't do is just make stuff up about the man. And this is unfortunately what seems to have happened in this report against Colorado and in their football program. I mean, something like I said, some of the stuff you would thought this was a gang related. Like, there are silly stuff that happens at Colorado. Like, they have DJs in the locker room before games. That's silly. Like, that's just silly. But that's a fact. That's not just making something up. Like, people are getting jumped in like it's gang initiations. That's just silly, and you can't just go and make things up. Unfortunately, this didn't get the legs that I think this fake reporter wanted it to get. But it did get enough because he was able to appear on Dan Le Batard and go and spew those lies on a national platform as large as the Le Batard show. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts on what's his name again? Steve McBorder. I'm gonna make sure I keep messing the dude's name up. Steve Corder, and the essentially the lies that he made up about the Colorado football team and Coach Prime and the Buffs. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.